All right, Shalom. First and foremost, when you all praises, honor, and all glory to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Ma'ashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash, double honor to the apostles, bishops, elders, GMS, Shalom to you, brothers, Christians, truth and sincerity across the four winds of the earth. And it's going to be a quick video. I'm listening to the elder, Apostle Gabar's video. And Myron made a point, and so did the elder Apostle Gabar, that I want to bring out, but I also want to play this video that I have loaded up on the split screen view on the side, right? There's a woman that understands it. I think she said something that she was going off on, but for the most part, I haven't watched it in a while, but for the most part, you know, she gets it, man. She understands order. And, you know, the thing is, nowadays, with feminism and you know, the Eve, and along with, you know, the rest of the women, you know, of the society has failed and listened to the serpent's, right, philosophy, right? And, you know, the Esau has given these people, you know, feminism, and they have taken it, eaten it up, and ran with it. And it has completely, you know, blinded, you know, all reasonable, you know, judgment, so on and so forth, right? And which you're going to see what I mean here by in a second. Because, you know, we understand, right, especially when it comes to this, you know, the truth, the scriptures, so on and so forth, the order. You know, we have Yahweh, we have Yahushai, we have men, women, right, children. That's the order, right? But, you know, this feminism puts you on top of the man, and you think that you can do everything he can do, and you think some women think you can do everything a man can do, right, just as good as he can do, and then some of you women think that you can do exactly what a man can do, but you can do it better. You see, like the damn, what was that? Anything you can do, I can do better. That shit. You know, you see, it is completely have ruled, the feminism has completely ruled out all logic. You see, which I'm gonna show you why I say that here in a second. But you know, eventually, obviously, we know everything is gonna go back into its rightful order, which we really need that to happen, because everything is out of whack, out of order in this place. And this serpent, man, this man has you and has everybody bugged the hell out. You see, because you've been following, you've been drinking his wine. Even though it doesn't make sense, it's completely rooted out logic. And in Myron, which you're going to see, what he's talking about, you know, how some women, some jobs, yes, women can do, that men do, but it's not as efficient. And he was, which you're gonna hear him say, he's talking about police and police officers, firefighter, military, you know, you can just think a whole bunch of different things. Right? And then this woman, the video that I played, you have to understand that you're just not made how we're made, and that's okay. And we're not saying, you know, fuck women and we hate you and all that. No, we just believe in order. That's all it is, man. But, you know, you've been drinking, you know, you women been drinking too much of the serpent's, you know, wine, and it's rooted out all sense of logic. So when you say that, these women fucking lose it, right? And I'm gonna play the video, right?
You know? So, reading on, it says, giving honor unto the wife as unto the weaker vessel. There's the point, the weaker vessel, as being heirs together of the grace of life, that your prayers be not hindered. So, in this verse right there, you can see that the men were given the knowledge to lead the family. That means lead the wife. So that makes the man superior and the woman inferior. But the two work together hand in hand. Just because the woman's inferior to the man doesn't mean she can't work hand in hand with him. And that's what feminism has destroyed. Women's lib, feminism, it has destroyed. And just like I told you, Aaron Russo told Alex Jones the real deal behind women's lib and feminism and why it was created by these top banking families. Case in point, the Rockefeller family. Because an insider, Nick Rockefeller, told Aaron Russo why it was created, women's lib and feminism. all right, to tax the women, which they couldn't do before because the women weren't in the workforce. They were staying at home. So bring them in the workforce. Now you can tax them. And at the same time, you can destroy the family. The state can raise the family. And then you bring them into something called a New World Order. Okay? So there it is. Anyway, let's get back to this.
Who are capable of doing certain things. And I don't think that us trying to be, let's be equal and let women in and involve them in certain regards, like we're limiting our ability to field the strongest military and or field a strong police and a strong and competent police force for feelings or for equality. Like I think like we need to be very real in some of the situations, understand that women just are not equipped for certain jobs and or we need to limit it.
And what is so hard to understand about that? That's logical reasoning. There's certain jobs that women are totally incapable of doing. Okay, and have no
Rewind it real quick. Get to the point where he said it. I missed it.
clay. Like
Where he
that they're equal to men. And look, the scriptures teach us that a woman is not, in the word woman,
go back a little bit more.
they don't want to.
They just are not going to, they might not necessarily, just because they can do it, right? Like a woman could do the jobs like a man, but she's not going to be as good in some of those positions as a man. Just because they can do it, right, doesn't mean that it's optimal.
And give me an example of said position and when that happened.
Okay, we can use an example of like a female police officer, right? Female police officers, a lot of the times, aren't equipped to handle a lot
I
of the
just
situations.
seen one video where Jake, they were in prison, and I believe she was a correctional officer, and I don't forgot what the dude was doing. Jake was being a damn demon, but from what you can see in the video, she was telling him to not do something, and she was getting ready to put him in the hole or handcuff him or something. And he was like, don't do it. And then the Jake started wiling out and started beating on it was two cop women that was trying to hold him, pretty much subdue him pretty much, and they couldn't. And then he eventually started stepping on the cop and everything, man. You see?
Might come up during the course of their duties. If a partner is injured, they might not necessarily be able to drag them to safety. If a male combatant comes in and attacks them, they might not necessarily be able to subdue that individual to the same degree. And I know that sounds fucked up or whatever, but these are very real biological realities.
Right. Okay. So now I played that part. Now I want to play this video on the right. Right.
God made Adam a suitable helpmate, and he made that helpmate not because she's weaker, but because God has...
That's where she's going off. And she is weaker, right? Which the other possibly Warren got in his video, so I'm not going to really pull it up here, but that's in the scriptures, man, right? The weaker vessel. So that's why, like I said, she's going to make a great point, but like I said, she went off somewhere, and that's where it was, literally.
Given men a capacity and a responsibility that women do not have, and we have to be honest about it. We can say he's not a man, he doesn't know how to lead, he doesn't whatever. There's still a capacity inside of him that God did not give us as women. And one of the biggest examples that I can give of that, imagine it's raining and you're in New York City. And if you've ever been to New York City or in France and it starts raining and people start selling umbrellas on the street, those $5, $10 umbrellas, they're not worth much, but they get the job done until you get home. Imagine you have that man. You have the man that gets the job done, isn't anything special, but he gets the job done. That man, no matter how little you view him, is made to handle the rain. You were not made to handle the rain, but you were made to hold up that which can handle the rain. If you didn't have that umbrella, you would come back home smelling like what you were poured on, what poured on you. When a man comes back in as that umbrella, he gets dried quickly, water repellent, it falls off of him, and no matter how equipped you thought he still was built for the rain. The difference also, some of you want that Neiman Marcus umbrella. Some of you want the wood handle. Those things are heavy. And if God gave you a man like that, then you have to be the woman that can hold up that man, because an umbrella that is not used, it can be for the rain, for the sun, it shields, it provides shade, it allows what's under it not to be touched. We are the vessel, not weaker. We are the vessel that was meant to let the one that God gave us be held up and used for what he was made. So now, as a wife, I want to say, I don't want to get wet. I don't want to sunburn. My skin's not built for that. So instead, I'm going to let the man be who he was meant to be. And if God gave me, which he did, my man's about as heavy as this table. That means God made me capable of holding him up. If my man is not doing what he was made to do, it's because I, as his wife, am not holding him up.
Right, and there you go. The point. Like I said, she was going off, but she still made a good point. And this is when you just really just look, you can't tell women that nowadays because you misogyny, and then you immediately throw that word out and you have no clue what it means. You can't even spell it. Can't even spell it. You see, we were just made different. Even though you are the weaker vessel, so she was, like I said, she was going off. But at the end of the day, everything is made to be in its rightful order, its rightful lot. So men have the capacity to do these things, but women, you don't have that capacity. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just order. It's just order. And let's get this scripture. I'm going to close out. All right? I said it's meant to be short. Let's get this in the KJV. All right. It's 1 Corinthians 11 and verse 3. Actually, no, we're going to start at 2, right? And we're going to start at the top. You know what? We're going to start at the top. It says, be ye followers of me, even as I also am of Hamashiach. It says, now I praise you, brethren, that ye remember me in all things, and keep the ordinances as I delivered them to you. It says, but I would have you know that the head of every man is Hamashiach, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Hamashiach is the Most High. You see, that's the order. That's the order. It's very simple. And then like the apostle God, which I'm just going to pull it up real quick. I said I wasn't going to, but I'm just going to pull it up. And we're going to close it out. 1 Peter 3, it's 7, yeah. 1 Peter 3 and 7. Actually, no, we're going to read up a little bit, actually. We'll start at 5. 1 Peter 3 and 5, it says, for after this matter, in the old time, the holy women also who trusted in the Heavenly Father adorned themselves, being in subjection unto their own husbands, even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord, whose daughters ye are, as long as ye do well and are not afraid with any amazement. It says, likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife as unto the weaker vessel, and as being heirs together of the grace of life, that your prayers be not hindered. There you go. Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord. You think any woman will call their husbands Lord nowadays? Come on, man. That's super far-fetched. They will barely call you. Come on, man. These women, like the Oscar Bar says, he said, these women are as feminine as truck drivers. You see? But that's the point, man. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's in its rightful order. You see? But like I said, that feminism and all that stuff, they eating that shit up. Right? Let's play a little bit of more Myron, see what he says, and then we'll close it out.
Who are capable of doing certain things. And I don't think that us trying to be, let's be equal and let women in and involve them in certain regards, like we're limiting our ability to field the strongest military and or field.
Fast forward a little bit. Hold on.
I'm going to take your two examples and say that those sorts of jobs require lots of different criteria.
And the same thing is when it comes to this, whole clash that Esau, has made these women think that they're, equal or whatever the case may be. The thing is how, why it doesn't make sense. The feminism shit doesn't make sense. Because when you ask women what they look for in a man, right? Let me close this out. Oh, close. When you ask women what they want in a man, they always give superior traits than what they are. So it's like what is it doesn't make sense. You want to fight for it to be equal and equality and your same footing as men and all this, but then when you ask you what is the qualities and the characteristics of this man, a man that you want, it's always qualities and characteristics that is superior. No woman wants to be with a man that's equal unto them. That's not in your nature. So it's like you want to be equal, but then when it comes to you actually being with a man, you don't want any of these things. So it's like, what the hell are you people talking about, man? If you was to ask her, I don't see a ring on her finger, but she could be married or have a husband or a boyfriend or whatever the hell. Or if you would ask her, what do you want in a man? You got to be taller, stronger, more money. Same old. But those are all superior characteristics, traits that you want that man to have. But then when it comes to being equal, you want to be equal. You want to be equal, but then you want to find somebody that has superior traits than you. That doesn't make sense, man. You women got a whole bunch of screws loose. And they can't be tightened. We don't have the right damn screwdriver for it. You people Esau has confused the hell out of y'all, man. You don't understand what you can find for at this point. I guarantee it.
Yeah, keep going. I'm listening.
Okay, I'm just making sure. Such as, like, police officers, sure, women might not be as physically strong, but that's not the only thing that you need in order to be a police officer. There's a lot of de-escalation within situations. Don't you think that women police officers could help the people?
And the strongest de-escalation is strength. And in that arena, who triumphs? The men, not the woman. Okay, that's why you're the weaker vessel. When you're talking about de-escalation, to de-escalate a situation, that takes strength. In most cases, that takes strength, mentally and physically. And that's where a man triumphs. But again, it just shows you how deluded and retarded these women are, today's women.
Right, like I said, you got the screws loose. Because what are you talking about?
Represents today's woman, a total feminist who's making her points based upon emotions and not real facts. Right? She's making a decision based upon emotions and not real facts. And that's why Myron's going to end up cutting her. Watch.
The victims in said situations through what they are currently having to go through. Also, with the military, there's a lot of people who get injured. And as we know today, that nursing is a field dominated by women. Don't you think that people in the military can also help?
You dumbass. Because that is a part of your role, the nurturing aspect. What point were you trying to make? You thought you women say nowadays, you thought you ate. What the fuck, man? That is a part of your nurturing aspects. When kids when they get hurt, a lot of the time when the father ain't around, they go to the mom. Mom, kiss the boo-boo, so on and so forth. You give them a Band-Aid. That's a part of your nurturing aspect. That's why it's dominated by you women, because that's what you're supposed to be doing. Hello. You were trying, you just proved your own point. Come on, man.
Well, what I was also going to say was they shouldn't be in combat roles. It's like if they're there from logistics or support or something like that, that's one thing. But when it comes to being in the field, well, this is a big reason why the women couldn't join infantry for so long. So I think to field the best police force and or military.
She hurt, man. Through and hurt. Through and hurt.
Etc. You got to keep women out of combat roles or situations where there can be physical contact, because it just hurts everybody else. Because I don't think it's fair to send a soldier over or a police officer over with a female partner that isn't going to be as capable of helping him if he gets incapacitated to some degree, right? Why? So that we can make women feel happy about them being able to be equal. Like, yeah, you could be this too, and then it's like, okay, we're doing this for feelings versus capabilities.
And most women that have common sense, they wouldn't want those jobs, especially when they understand the dangerous aspect of those jobs. Many of these jobs that are very dangerous, women don't want to have anything to do with those jobs.
Right. Women barely want jobs, regular jobs. So now you got a gun and a vest. You walking around with 30, 40 pounds of equipment on you. Come on, man. Cut it out. Absolutely cut it out, man. I'm gonna close out, man. Hope this was edifying. Hope you got some out of it. Catch you guys in another lesson, Lord willing. Shalom.